A traumatic story from 100 years ago to Seinfeld to a Doc Walker song. You never know where they're going to come from, these songs. I remember, who were we writing with? We wrote I'm Gonna Make You Love Me. What's her name?
Victoria Banks.
Victoria Banks, great Canadian singer-songwriter, lives in Nashville. We wrote a song called Hard Act to Follow, and it was getting to be about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and it was about 33 degrees in Nashville, and all I could think about is the patios. You know? And some wings and some beer. My day's work is done at 3 o'clock writing songs. So Murray Palmer goes, oh, you know what? It's only 3. We got time to maybe try another one. And I'm like, oh, Murray, the patio. So anyway, Victoria's like, yeah, sure. So Murray's like, yeah, I got this idea of a 3-chord song. I'm like, well, okay. And it's a lot harder to write a 3-chord song than you think, because you always want to try to be smart and do like a minor or something, or go somewhere that you don't have to go. To keep it 3 chords is actually pretty hard. So this is probably about 3:10 that Murray goes, I have this idea. Like, C. I'm like, I'm gonna make you love me. I'm like, well, that sounds pretty hokey, but let's do it.
We were drinking beer by 4.
Yeah, literally at the patio by 4 o'clock, and about 25 minutes to write this song, and I'm like, boy, am I glad I didn't run to the patio and I stayed in the room and hung out for this one. So let's sing it for you here, ready?
1, 2, 1, 2.
But I'm gonna change your life. I'm gonna make you love me. And I'm gonna keep on trying until I can make you love me. There's never been anything I wanted so bad. Gotta know I'm never gonna stop till I have you, baby. It might sound crazy, I'm gonna make you love me. There's a red rose lying on your front porch. And last night by the light alone, I just can't sleep when I'm thinking about my arms around you. I just gotta have you. So I'm gonna change your mind. I'm gonna make you love me. And I'm gonna keep on trying until I can make you love me. There's never been anything I wanted so bad. You gotta know I'm never gonna stop till I have you, baby. It might sound crazy, I'm gonna make you love me. And this is where Bree did one amazing guitar solo that I can't play. So. I slipped love under your front door, and I wrote it all down straight from my heart. A song in my head and I can't stop singing about you. I can't live without you. So I'm gonna change your mind. Change your mind. I'm gonna make you love me. I'll keep on trying till I can make you love me. There's never been anything I wanted so bad. You gotta know I'm never gonna stop till I have you, baby. Might sound crazy, but I'm gonna make you love me. But I'm gonna change your mind. I'm gonna make you love me. Thank you. Oh, Rough Riders made it in the playoffs.
Yeah!
Do you know who they play? Who do they play?
Ottawa.
Ottawa?
No.
We're going through the east to take on Winnipeg.
Ottawa.
Good luck with that.
Saskatchewan.
Winnipeg plays Edmonton.
I brought a bit of Winnipeg with me. Burton Cummings!
Man, it's a good rivalry we have.
It is great.
I know.
Yeah, we kind of...
So many years, it was so... I actually jumped ship to the Riders one year. Put a Rough Riders jersey on, I was just fed up. Then they got good, so I jumped back in the bandwagon. Well, they got mediocre, I guess. Anyway, it's a pretty fun rivalry. We have our sound guy is actually from Regina here, and the other sound guy we had before that was from Regina, and our bass player was from Milford, Saskatchewan. So we always had a lot of Saskatchewan ties. So I got to say, it was pretty heated in the bus sometimes when we were watching football. But you know, I'm going to send a song. A big round of applause for Colin, everybody. You've been amazing so many years. Said you remember listening back to probably the first interview I did. It was, well, how the band kind of started, it wasn't called Doc Walker. First, Dave and I started a band when we were about 12 years old. You should have saw the hair. There's pictures out there. It was, I had the Jeff Healy mullet going on. And the funny thing is, it was like the typical high school band. We had, the drummer that we had in Portage really couldn't play very well, but he had a drum set, so he was
in the band.
And his parents built him, they had Hutlett's Corner Store, so they built like a half pipe in the backyard. He was an only child, so he had a drum set, a half pipe in his backyard, and his parents had a convenience store, so we're like...
Yeah.
So he kind of took over the band though, and during math class one day, he called the band Freedom and wrote it on the back of his jean jacket. I wasn't too keen on that. Then I got fired from that band.
Yeah, well, we had a photo shoot.
Yeah.
And we had
a name, a photo shoot, and we didn't know how to play any songs. A photo shoot though, it's awesome. So then I got fired. I think I was smooching the drummer's girlfriend.
You were. And you can't fire the drum set.
Can't fire the drum set, so I got turfed. I got sent back to Westbury. So I think it was 1990. We played our very first show in Langrooth, Manitoba, because there was a couple other guys I was playing some country music with, and my mom had the liquor store in Portage, which being, at that age, that's quite convenient. I had a lot of friends.
Jeez.
Anyway.
They allowed you to listen to Nestor Pester.
Yeah,
they used to chaperone you in a bar.
Yeah.
You're not really selling it. That they were great.
Great life.
They really were though.
It was a beautiful life. But, so anyway, there was this Johnson family reunion. Being Icelandic, they called Betty, and they said, my mom, and I always called her Betty because she kind of managed the band, and it sounded stupid going, Mom, can you...
It's more like,
Mom! So it was Betty. So anyway, Betty was talking to the people who were putting on this social, this Johnson reunion, and she's like, oh yeah, my son has a band, they'll play. I'm like, I don't have a band. We don't know any songs. So a good friend of mine, Jason Walker, we were practicing or something, he forgot on my cold medication. I said, oh, good going, Doc Walker. And I'm like, well, we need a name, so we'll use that. I stole my buddy's name. And we sat and we learned about 35, 40 songs in a month. And we played our very first social in Langrooth. I still have the business card with the wagon wheel on it. But that was our very first sort of Doc Walker gig, and then we did a record, and I had to call radio stations, and I was really, really scared about it, but Betty was like, get on the phone, call and thank him for playing your song. He said my voice was breaking up. It was, I remember the first time, I remember calling the radio station, just, I couldn't handle it. The phone's ringing, and it's like, CKRM. I was like, is Colin there? And then, who else was it? Doty, Nan Doty?
Yeah.
out east.
Yeah, out east. It was just so nerve-wracking. You know, thanks for playing our song, and I gotta say, you know, you really, really helped out for a kid who was scared out of his wits. Regina's always been amazing, and thank you, Colin, so much.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna go way back and see see if you remember this one. You guys probably have never heard this song. This is off of a record called Good Day to Ride.
Oh my goodness.
When I was sporting the mullet.
You have to tell me what I too.
It's in G and I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, this whole Songs and Stories of the Heartland, it was one of the first songs I'd ever written in my life, and it was written about a little horse ranch just down the road from our place called the Old Wheeling. Sitting on a front porch swing, listening to my baby sing country song. Staring out across the plains, feeling better than any man can, 'cause I'm where I belong. And way down yonder, there's a place where cowboys go. Don't you know? Down the river road, it's up the old wheeling. What goes on here ain't no sin. There's just a little bit of sauce and a lot of beer. No city folks hang around here and dance to the beat of the wood strokes. Like top stomping cowboy boots. The old wheeling. When me and my honey open up the door, meeting and greeting like I did before, singing how do you do? With the fire crackling good and loud, ain't got much, sure I'm proud of what we were for. 'Cause it's way down yonder, place is just where cowboys go. Don't you know? Down River Road, it's at the old wheeling. What goes on here ain't no sin. There's just a little bit of sauce and a lot of beer. No city folks hang around here and dance to the beat of a wood smokes. Like top stomping cowboy boots. Old wheeling. I can't believe I remember. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, my hard drive in my head was just spinning there.
All right, how are we doing for time? I could be up here all night, so I gotta watch out here. Lots of time?
Yeah, let's play some more music.
Game doesn't start till noon tomorrow.
Okay, awesome. So, I'm gonna slow it down a little bit with a song. We actually filmed the video for this just outside of Saskatoon. I don't know why they wanted to, it was a farm, like they wanted a barn. They wanted to film it in a barn. I'm like, where I live, there's lots of barns, but for some reason we had to go outside of Saskatoon. They found the perfect barn. So check out the video for a song called That Train, and that's the perfect barn. I don't know why. My sister lives in Saskatoon, so it's
Smelled
cool.
like cow crap.
It did. Our barns smell like that too.
Yeah, it's the perfect barn.
So, you know, I love talking about the ideas where these songs come from. This was an interesting songwriting session we had. It was a guy who just moved to Nashville from LA. His name was Stacy Weidlitz. Nobody really knew about him, but he seemed to live in a really, 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 really nice part of Nashville. So I'm like, he must be pretty important.
Just him and his little dog.
It's weird.
Yeah, he's strange.
Total LA guy with a ponytail. So we go there and we walk in and all we see is Dirty Dancing plaques everywhere. I'm like, well, I don't remember seeing him in the movie. So anyway, we start talking to him and here he wrote She's Like the Wind with Patrick Swayze. So, and that's what the only song he ever wrote.
Yeah.
It's all he ever had to write.
$30 million later.
Have you listened to that song?
sounds
She's
very
like the wind through my trees.
It's so good.
It's
Who
so
said
good.
that?
It's so good. Anyway. Ladies love that song. Yeah, me and my wife
Yes,
love
they
that.
light candles and they sit in the back to that song. Yes.
I made you watch that show one day, man.
You did. You sold it to me too. You're like, oh, you haven't seen this? I'm like, no. I was single at the time probably, and I didn't have any girlfriends to bring to that movie.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey man, it's a good movie. And then halfway through, I still don't live it down. But
Yeah.
Dave and I watched Dirty Dancing, so it was quite a cool moment for us to meet the guy who wrote that song. But anyway, we sat there and we started coming up with ideas for a song, and it turned out to be a really, really good day.
This is the second song he ever wrote.
Yeah, I think he had a Buddy Jewel song. You guys
Yeah.
remember him? He won Nashville Stars. Yeah, I think he wrote a song on the flip side, track 9, I think. But anyway, we're all very proud of this song. I love writing songs that connect with people and so hopefully make a difference. And this is one of those ones that we're pretty proud of. A little song called That Train.
1, 2.
He woke up on a cold floor in a motel on the south side of nowhere, and he swore this is the last time, like the last time before, just like the last time before. But the wheels keep turning around, the engines, they never slow down. And he knew that these tracks would lead to heartache and pain, but he still got on that train. I did it again.
Ready?
I'll tell the story after. Okay, wait. God, I feel like Derek Rattan. You ever been to Derek Rattan? He forgets words.
He doesn't know any of the lyrics. He has an iPad right here.
I know. And when you're not playing with a band, it's a lot different. And it's this song. We were at the Winspear Theater in Edmonton. Packed. Sounded amazing. Looked beautiful. This song, I did the same thing. I forgot the second verse.
Right at the spot, yeah.
Same spot. So I'm like, I love this song. We've got to start it again. Just got to play the whole thing all the way through. Get to the second verse. Forgot it again. 3 times. So I'm not going to do that next
1,
time.
2, 3.
There's a girl down in Georgia, broken homecoming queen, knocked around right there. So this is the last time. This time I know that we're through. Oh, this time I swear that we're through. But the wheels keep turning around, the engines, they never slow down. And she knew that these tracks would lead to heartache and pain, but she still got on that train. I wake up in a cold bed, playing shows every night on this long, lonely road, and thinking of you. And I just wanna come home. Oh, but I'm just too far from home. And the wheels keep turning around, the engines, they never slow down. And I knew that these tracks would lead to heartache I still got on that train. Yeah, I knew that these tracks would lead to heartache and pain, but I still got on that train.
Very cool.
I used to get nervous forgetting words. Now it's just getting older, it's a daily thing. I remember we saw Kenny Rogers one time, and they said he actually tells the crowd that he has a teleprompter with all his lyrics. I remember thinking, I can't remember his own songs. Hope I never get like that. It was really bad in Toronto one time. We're at this big radio station in Toronto, and they're doing a live video of it, and we're playing Rocket Girl. This is right when Rocket Girl was at its peak. So we do the little solo part. And I'm supposed to go, I'd never tell her she's been busted. Well, live radio.
Dead air.
I'm like, look at Dave. And it's funny because I listened to it later and all you hear is, Dave looks and he's like, finally, I'm like, I'd never tell her. There was a good, 25 seconds. Not 25. It's felt like 25 years, but probably about 10 seconds of nothing. And wow, that was pretty scary. So we're gonna play a song off the new album, Weather Vane. Hey, we won Album of the Year for Manitoba Association.
Last night.
We got snowed in Winnipeg and had to stay there last night. It was a long drive to Regina this morning. Say that. Oh, that's not in June. I'll be like, what was it, Tom and Jerry, where you pull the hair off the cat's nose? Anyway. Yeah, we write a lot of songs about our small towns. We're very, very proud of it. So here's another one, and you guys can probably appreciate this. It's a little song called Heart of the Heart.
Good song.
There's a storm rolling in like a freight train, weather vanes spin around. Just some more bad news for a town that could use a little help right now. 'Cause there's always someone leaving. Yeah, we're slowly bleeding out. Forget the good old days, it's minimum wage or nothing now. But my roots run deep in these broken streets and alleyways, like no other place. Just a nowhere town on an open plain, miles away from anything. It's where I was born and raised, and still hear mama call my name. Oh, oh, mama, here I am in the heart of the heartland. We used to ride our bikes from dawn till dusk, cover every inch of town. We're running on pick a pop, hell we go non-stop and never slow down. Well, there's ghosts on every corner and a story down every street. We'll take a whole other lifetime to relive the long line of memories. Just to nowhere town on an open plain, miles away from anything. But I swear I pitched that perfect game, still hear mama call miles away from anything. It's where I was born and raised. I still hear mama call my name. Oh, mama, here I am in the heart of the heartland. In the heart of the heartland.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Having fun yet? Pick a pop. Now, you guys remember that? That's right along the lines of Nestor Pister that time ago. You're like, let's get a pick a pop and listen to Nestor Pister.
That's what your parents used to feed you if they needed a tow truck.
Oh, God.
They'd just tie you to the car, feed you a pick a pop, and you'd be home in minutes.
Do you remember that stuff? Sure.
My teeth.
They do. I saw it's in a plastic bottle. It's just not the same. Pick a pop. That was I always like the lime. The lime was horrible. But we went from pick a pop to beer eventually. And what was that mean? Which one?
Beat.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Flat.
God, Rain Man here.
There we go.
You're flat. Anyway, where would I be without you, Dave?
Probably have a lot more money in it.
Yeah, so eventually, once we turned 18, didn't have to be 19, so it was only 18. Used to head to the big city of Gladstone, Manitoba, to
Ooh.
the Gladstone Bar and the Legion. Legion was always a good time. And we were trying to write some songs for the new record. We actually wrote this one with the one and only Murray Pulver, who we inducted into the Impact Award you got last night in Manitoba. Yeah, good old Murray Pulver. We miss him. We still write a lot of songs and play guitar with him, and he played on most of this record. We recorded most of it in Saskatoon with Bart McKay. So spent a lot of time out here doing that. He's a fantastic guy, Bart. Mike, wow, the talent that guy has. But writing songs, I kept thinking of, we wrote a song about a guy who should be sick of whiskey because every time his heart gets broken, he ends up at the Gladstone Legion like I used to when I was 20 or 21 and 19. I got dumped there like every week. So
You never got to be a better person.
No.
It's like, it's the girl's fault.
So, all of them. Been married for 10 years and I'm holding on to dear life. So this isn't a song about lately, changed a lot. But back in the day, I got